Hello everybody, welcome back to Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 89, Casual Conversations 30. Same old, talking points, still a lot of COVID. We haven't gotten over that yet. Again, the scientific deniers out there. So we're going to be ruling. Again, as you can see, I got my, the Supreme Court's looking for a new nominee. Well, here in the nation state of Brad, I hereby, it is so ordered that I am the High Court Supreme Justice. I'm the President. I'm the Treasurer. I'm all that shit, gang. So it is hereby ordered. So now I'm completely official. I have to get my judge's robes in, and then I'm off. I'm a complete nation state myself. At the G69 Summit, the second annual one, I'll be writing my own constitution and ratifying it myself. And then I'll be an accepted independent nation state of Brad. But talking about the COVID crazies, again, another Dark Horse podcast got uploaded, so we got to rip on that with the quickness. Talk about what is free speech and stories if there's time. So I guess the first thing before we get to the Dark Horse, we have some drama. We have Neil Young demands Spotify ban Joe Rogan or remove his music from their platform. Spotify sides with Rogan and begins removing his music. My thoughts on cancel culture. And to be specific, Spotify said, "We hope to welcome back Neil soon." Again, Neil Young gave them an ultimatum. Is Neil Young in the air tonight? Is that who that is? I don't know the name, don't really know much of the music. I'm sure I know some of the songs. Then you have Joni Mitchell also removes her music in support of Neil from their platform. And Kid Rock threatens to cancel any concert with COVID protocols. So a lot of musicians are jumping in the politics game or the science game more directly. Again, do I think if like Neil Young is the one having Spotify remove his music, so Spotify looks pretty like just running a business. Do I think Joe Rogan, do I think spreading misinformation does a tremendous amount of damage? At the general society level, yes. Again, as a business owner, the reason I am not even furious, just again tired of dealing with fucking children, because I would like to make some fucking money. Not because I'm trying to control anybody or do anything. And again, biological law, once it's mandated from the high court, it's law, and if you violate it, well, you're going to take your fucking worthless life into the next life and just kill a bunch of people, like Americans do all the time anyway. So that's basically all Americans do, is just kill each other and then just make podcasts about people killing each other. But again, do I think it's that detrimental? Again, Joe Rogan's, again, I don't know if he's anti-vax. I think he didn't get the vaccine, so he's pretty anti-vax. Again, I'm not a fan of Joe Rogan in any fucking way. He's a clueless fucking idiot. Not a good quality human being. But do I think it's, again, like, what damage do I think misinformation does? Again, learning is an individual process, so the real damage is again, stagnation for like the 1,000th, millionth time. And some idiot gets online and looks for somebody else to support the opinions they already have. I mean, it's literally like high school people ganging up on each other, just forming groups. It's the same shit. But Joe Rogan, it's just a voice to cause stagnation, but I really don't think, if I was Spotify, would I kick Joe Rogan off because Neil Young wanted me to? No. Do I think at the high court of Brad, is it super damaging? No. Again, I don't care who lives or dies. If you want to be fucking retarded and endanger yourself, again, speed up the process. The annual Kobe Bryant race needs to be maybe biannual or once a quarter, really start purging out these fucking idiots. But again, from a personal standpoint, the only reason I care is because I'm trying to make money. I can go make a reasonable decision. I can get a vaccine. I can get boosted. I can wear my mask, and I can stay away from these fucking weirdos. Again, it's always the same thing: reckless behavior, call it freedom, endanger other people, and say, well, selfishness. So good job there. If I was Neil Young, I would be trying to acquiring the bag, running up the check at all costs. So I would not. Again, I have no respect for Joe Rogan. I think he's an absolute fucking idiot, terrible person. Would I give a shit in the context of me trying to make money? Fuck no. Just would not care at all. Thoughts on cancel culture in general. Do I think it's good, bad, or neutral? depends on the severity of what we're canceling. And I don't think canceling Joe Rogan does anything for anybody. I just think it's, again, people want a hero, people want a demon, people want a god, people want a devil, and it's just like learning. Independent learning process, we all learn the same shit, but the vast majority of people, probably 40% to 60% of this population, stagnate when they're 30 and just say the same dumb shit every single day, whether it's politics, it's sports, your favorite sports team, go Bills, go Bengals, go who the fuck ever. And it's just people who can't grow up. So, on a personal level, besides me being a business owner, I really don't care on any side of any of this. Kid Rock threatens to cancel any concert with COVID protocols. Didn't know he was still doing anything. But what is he? Did he have? Well, he had one song that I knew. I forget it. It's like something about the summer. Sarah Palin, who we talked about last time, went out to eat 2 days after testing positive for COVID. She said she'll get the vaccine over my dead body. I watched the reporter who confronted them, and her boyfriend who's trying to get that dick wet, or date or whoever, just trying to plow some stank puss, was like, goes up to the reporter, are you looking for trouble? Are you looking for trouble? No, your bimbo whore of a fucking date who's spreading disease to other people is looking to get fucking. Again, that should be a severe crime. It really should be. But again, reckless behavior. I'll get it over my dead body, freedom, and then endanger other people as a grown-ass woman. And you're just a whiny fucking bitch. Go lay on your back, take some dick, and that's what you can do with your life, you dirty fucking bitch. One other talking point I'm going to skip over. We'll stick to the COVID stuff. Now get into the Dark Horse Podcast 113. So first we have, before the Dark Horse, I read an Eric Weinstein tweet, which I haven't really scrolled his Twitter in a while. I'm not on Twitter. Again, until I get human rights myself, I have to look at something to try to make some money. That's literally why I make these fucking videos, at least at this point. But Eric tweeted, as a father, my child has lost a normal college experience, and my other child has lost a normal high school experience. Yeah, I've lost a lifetime of experience because of people like you, Eric. Again, remember, we're anti-cannabis, we're anti-UFOs, we're anti-psychedelics, and now we're going to update our Bayesian priors when we're 55. 50-fucking-5. Do I care that your kid has lost enormous college experience? No. They're going to go to college and steal from me personally. Do I care that your kid has lost a normal high school experience? No, your kid's going to school and stealing from me. So no sympathy for the weird fucking Weinsteins. Again, they're just honestly terrible people. Because they want to be intellectuals. I mean, they want to call themselves scientists. They want to call themselves mathematicians. How about that, Eric? When you said right on the Lex Friedman podcast, oh, I'm not a mathematician, after I proved that stepping on a crack breaks your mother back was a historical reference to the Riemann hypothesis. So I wonder why don't you consider yourself a mathematician, or at least a good one, Eric? Why not? But then we get to the Dark Horse Podcast. Again, the breathtaking intellectuals of Heather Hang and Brett Weinstein, who is Eric Weinstein's little brother. I said before that Brett seemed to be a little less weird than Eric. I take that back. They're both equally weird. But they're demonetized on YouTube, which is thankfully. Good job, YouTube. People this fucking stupid should not be doing anything. Again, like I said, it's not like a severe thing to me. It's not like Heather Hang talks about it as like a religious fervor. No, I just hate fucking stupid people. I really just fucking do. Because it just really kills people. And I even got over that. I don't care about the fucking bodies. I literally get scapegoated by my entire family to the point where I can't care. How the fuck do I get away from these fucking weirdos and just pay my bills? I have to put myself out into the world to pay bills. That is it. But we kick it right off. They start talking about prime numbers. Again, I don't know anything about prime numbers at all, except that they're indivisible, and I proved it myself. With Omicron, Brett says, with Omicron, does boosters even make sense? Yep, again, sticking to the data, they do not reference not one single time in their entire podcast. I've watched like the past 7, and there's just no desire to ever look up actual data, which I've reviewed and studied, or not stated in this lecture series. But yes, Brett, the most robust immunity is post-dose 3 with Omicron as an infection. You get your 3 doses, then you get Omicron. The limiting of serious disease was by approximately 35 times compared to unvaxxed, uninfected. And again, I already read the data, I don't have it rewritten down, but it was like, proportional to the amount of dosage you have. 1 dose was like, 15 times fold more useful. 2 dose was like 20, 3-dose was like 25 times. And then the 3-dose with getting a breakthrough infection is about 35 times more effective against serious disease or hospitalization, death. Heather's favorite word is enumerate, which isn't a word, and she proves it. Again, these people literally project at face value. Again, this is a great time to talk about what a polymath is. I do research in all of these subjects. These people wish they could do research in one subject. And I don't say that to be like arrogant. I say this because these people are incompetent and they keep spreading their fucking nonsense. And like I said, it doesn't do a huge damage to society, but on a personal level, this behavior is what has ruined my entire life. Forget COVID. The overall broad academic sense of I know what to do, I'm qualified, I have a degree, and then look at this fucking hellhole of a fucking world. Again, on a personal level, freedom. These people are all talking about freedom. And then forget being a judge of the nation state of Brad. Forget being a lawyer or anything, just be a person. I go out into the world and try to start a business, I don't have freedom anywhere. I can't do fucking anything. And I try every day in the most legitimate, genuine sense ever. Again, can't sell cannabis, infused alcohol, which is literally safer, can't start medical trials to prove that, can't deal with anyone with any competence from the FDA, CDC, biologists, psychologists, physicists. Psychology is not a real fucking subject. But any chemistry, any real science. Because again, Eric Weinstein, they're all anti-cannabis, and then even when the data is sitting right there in their face for 40 fucking years, they literally just project at face value and modify their narratives, watch Brad steal Brad's property, and then think they can argue like me. Again, I do this stuff all day. You people can't do this once. So it's astounding. But enumerate is not a word, Heather. And then she says, the data stream is polluted. The data, and I have data changing versus corruption. But the data is just coming in, Heather. And it's not convoluted. It's not going to the conclusions you want. And then we start talking about the scientific method, which again, they are not scientists, biologists. Again, if I had a brain hemorrhage and I got contracted with AIDS and I had a flesh-eating bacteria, then I might just be a biologist, maybe. But again, biology is an emergent field of physics. It's subsequent to physics, subsequent to chemistry. But they're evolutionary biologists, not lab biologists, so they just go look at animals in the fucking woods, which I like to do too, just fuck these people. And Heather, I probably wouldn't even watch you on OnlyFans, to be honest, you're kind of fat. But then she says, or Brett says, the facts are being bent to fit the conclusion, not proceeding from the empirical evidence. Our lawyers versus your lawyers. Okay, I literally have an infinite H-index. You can't open your mouth without either stealing my property or literally me having a visceral reaction to your inconsistency. And I can prove it to you in person. I do it all day. That is what I do. But they're just too fucking stupid. And if you want to think you have any chance of against a lawsuit with me, any lawyer that represents you spreading fraudulent information will have an instant ethical complaint. Instantly. And so again, people, you can sit here and watch these videos, you just don't understand how much derivation I actually literally do. And if you want to fucking, again, let's consider the whole thing. You are violating my rights and my freedoms in the fucking constitutionally protected way. So again, beta society, we kick out the best, we kick out the scapegoat, and then we go back to having like she talks about wanting to be treated with respect and as a human being. Bitch, you are a dirty fucking animal that can't fucking speak, and you think you have some right to fucking spread false information. Free speech is not, again, last time I referenced this, I'm the only one that can fucking rule on this, derive on this. You said in the most general, what is free speech? Free speech, again, without notes, I don't rewatch my videos, requires thought, requires intention. And so, just to be able to say whatever you want, to tweet whatever you want, again, once you get into the private companies, really being in the public sentiment more, it's just, free speech, you don't have the right to incite violence, you don't have the right to cause panic. And so speech requires thought requires competence, thought requires the correct training. And again, they say the same shit. They say literally the same shit. 100,000 of independent experiences in my life of people literally stealing my property, saying the words out of my mouth, and then just being completely inconsistent. It is 100,000 times for real. Is I'm still rolling? And then somehow people think I'm joking. The instant I have any access to the courts, again, the United States government will blow up its own citizens. The United States citizens will be too stupid to do anything besides sit around and say, well, where's my money? When do I get a free fucking handout? Oh, flip side, entrepreneur, capitalist, libertarian. Oh, well, I worked so hard, so I deserve to fly on my private jet and sit on my yacht and steal all the food from the manatees like Gerard Michaels. And so it's just, no, just get, everyone's insecure, everyone's not learned, everyone's fucking stupid. But again, she's just so hell-bent on corruption, and she has no... When's the last time you read a book outside of your field of domain or your field of research, Heather? When's the last time you said, I'm going to read 10 history books to try to learn, prepare to be a lawyer? Just for your own education. And you go do that in chemistry, you go do that in language, you go do that in literature, you go do that in physics, you go do that in mathematics. That's what I've already done. That's my resume. It's on your desk. It's on David Eisenbud's desk. And so again, the instant I have access to court, you want a fucking lawsuit, you get a lawsuit. And it's fucking hilarious. People think I'm joking. I'm just not. I have no rights. There's nothing I can do about it. But Brett and Heather, you guys are the ones bending data to fit your conclusions after you say the data stream is so polluted. So if the data stream is so polluted, then how can you make any conclusions? Oh, that's right, you can't. You just don't want to be told what to do. Dumb pieces of shit. But and then Brett, this big long-winded shit, and again, Brett's learned to talk word salad from his worthless fucking Jew brother, Kike brother, excuse me. Fuck the Kikes. The Weinsteins. Again, my most professional. The nation state of Brett is very professional. But the booster was the conclusion. Omicron was the reason for the booster conclusion. So again, the national governments came together and created a variant to tell you to get a booster. That's Brett Weinstein's logic. That is his conclusion. Yeah, no variants are emergent from biological organisms, mostly the unvaccinated, certainly. But again, it does seem that there was at least some cover-up in China, but the Omicron was the reason for the booster conclusion. Just categorically, fuck no. You're such a worthless piece of shit, Brett. The vaccines are, word for word, the vaccines are not effective. They don't reduce transmission, and they aren't safe. The vaccines are effective, as ruled and proven in this lecture series. They do reduce transmission. They are safe. At least way safer than getting an infection itself. So Heather, I want to meet these disgusting buckets of shit lawyers that you think you have. Oh, where'd they get their credentials? From a state stealing my research. When did they get their last, continuing education, pass their boards or their whatever, renew their licensing? Every single one of those people is stealing from me. All of them. So if it's 7.8 billion people versus Brad, the nation state of Brad is going to fuck you. And again, how much is 3 hours of my time? How much is 3 months? That's probably more than you people will have ever made in the combined earnings of your lifetime. So again, you think I'm afraid to fucking go to court or actually pay people? I basically have infinite money because people owe me so much. So again, I have nothing left to do with my life. And again, I hate the behavior. Forget COVID. This type of shitty behavior has ruined the duration and entirety of my life. The academics are the most dirty, scummy people ever. And then she makes the point that saying, the unvaccinated are dirty. And you go, yes, Heather, endangering other people is a dirty and scummy practice. It really is, right? It's really bad to hurt other people. I know you just don't, the data stream's so polluted, no, you just don't know how to look at data. And again, it's right in front of your face, you've not referenced it once in your worthless fucking podcast. Oh, additionally, any company sponsoring that fucking podcast, I don't know if I can sue you, but I'm not going to do business with you. And like Kevin O'Leary says, business is war. I'm going to fucking win. So I hope the dog treats and the shoes that get an extra $1,200 of sales from the Dark Horse podcast plugs, I hope that $1,200 is worth it. Because I'm coming for your whole fucking company and I'll put you out of business. And then Brett says, recover our economy as much as possible, because again, we're devastated. It's, NASDAQ is 14% off all-time highs. Bam, trading at, 30 times price to earnings, and it's somehow a good valuation. And then he just says supply chain, because you're stealing my property and say supply chain. Brett, you're the evolutionary biologist, now he's an economist, and a good one too. And again, remember, the instant I get published, I win all of the prizes instantly. So this isn't like me publish an article here, me publish an article there. It's list fundamental theorems all day. You'll never list one theorem all day. But again, they're just so fucking stupid. These people are honestly so fucking stupid. Brett and Heather are Democrats/liberals. We're at this weird convolution stage where, again, all of the political words and ideologies don't really make any sense, and everyone's just selfish, insecure, and forming groups with people that make them feel warm and respected and loved and intellectual. Heather and Brett, you're so fucking stupid. Not talking about the truckers for freedom. So we have a big motion for freedom out of Canada today, because I think it's going on right now. It's called the Truckers for Freedom, the Freedom Envoy. And again, what is free speech? What is freedom? Freedom is not the ability to do whatever the fuck you want. It just isn't. And it's endanger other people and say not my problem. But Heather says, this gives me hope. And again, remember, Heather's being held down. She's got her Substack. She's got a husband. She's got kids. She's got income. But she's just being held down from all of the freedoms you can do in the world. But this gives me hope. And then she's early in the podcast, she says, the more illiterate you are, and enumerate. Again, enumerate's her favorite word. We'll get to that point. You are. The more illiterate you are, the more enumerate you are, the less likely you are to be able to do science. Paraphrased. Truckers. Yeah. Okay, Heather, I want you to email every one of your contacts for the brilliant Truckers for Freedom rally and ask them when's the last time they read a book, a non-fiction book to educate themselves. Like the Thomas Cahill history books, or Scalia's reading law book, or chemistry books, or physics books, or math books. I'll wait on that one. Again, how about you, Heather? When's the last time you guys read differentiated subjects to learn? Because again, the point isn't to say you're stupid, which you are. It's actually learning's an individual process. Once you get a degree in income, you're not actually learning anymore. But if you put yourself out into the world, you'll gain new perspectives. You'll learn about other people's hardships. And you'll be less of a cunt. But the Truckers for Freedom, yeah, I'm sure all those truckers are really, really educated and really literate. Fuck those fucking people. But natural immunity, again, if you need to have a motion or a movement or go out and rally in the streets, do something better with your life. But I do think natural immunity should be regarded equally as post-dose 3 immunity. Again, post-dose 3, that's the most you can consciously choose. If you get a breakthrough infection on top of that, you have the 35 times best protection or whatever. But I think natural immunity should be regarded as equal immunity. Again, see how we're adding adjectives to the same word? Natural immunity versus immunity. Do you have T-cell responses? Do you have antibodies? Do you get reinfected? It has nothing to do with natural or unnatural. The vax, the new vax, the mRNA, the super exposure, the weakened virus. Immunity is immunity. See, it's the same word. People lined the roads for the Truckers for Freedom rally, and Heather and Brett are all again the screeching bald eagle. I guess this is Canada. I do have to say, for some phonetic reason, Canadian French or Canadian English sounds like the most retarded accent ever. It is so ordered. But yeah, people lined the roads for the Truckers for Freedom rally. So did people for JFK reincarnate, Heather. Didn't you see all those people in Texas lining the streets for JFK to come back like a month ago? I bet those people are truckers too. So gathering in big groups doesn't mean you're doing a lot of good shit, Heather. It just doesn't. And then Holocaust. Again, this was a travesty. The Weinsteins, again, they're kikes, big Jews, and they had something about the Holocaust Remembrance Day, and they were just stunned about the irony. Restricting freedoms of getting a vaccine to not endanger other people and make a basic biological health decision, which is, again, you don't know how to use your cell phone, you use it every day. People don't understand science, but they function on it all day. And you people aren't scientists. Nobody's a scientist compared to me. But what a travesty. Again, people being forced into gas chambers versus not endangering other people. It's one for one. It's 1-to-1. It's an isomorphism, Brett. I think I heard you say isomorphism last week. But again, what a lot of people would say, if you could go back in history and do one thing, a lot of people would say they would kill Hitler. What I would do is I would just make sure Grandma Weinstein got put on that right cart to Auschwitz. Here you go, Weinsteins. There you go. Go to the fucking gas chamber. Then I wouldn't have to fight anti-science 50, 60, 70 years later. So, fuck you, Jew kikes, Brett and Eric. The nation state of Brett keeps it really professional. But Brett presents constitutional analysis of free speech. Which again, Brett, they thought last week we weren't constitutional lawyers, or we weren't law people, or we weren't scholars at all. But now, again, we have to have an opinion. We sit around Eric Weinstein, our brother, who knows maths. We say prime numbers. We watch the news, so we say politics. And you're an idiot. But this is where it gets funny. They say 0 is a special number. Special number. Special number. 0 is not a number. It doesn't represent anything. As proven by me. So when Brett and Heather, or Heather is calling people innumerate, 0 is not a number. It's innumerate. Again, that word's not a correct word, but innumerate, not doing numbers. 0 is not a number. It's certainly not a special number. As you steal by literal proofing. So and it's just like, you can tell that's like maybe a turn on when Brett and Heather are going to spice it up in the bedroom. Oh yeah, Brett, give me that special number. Oh yeah. I guarantee you guys fucking has to be like the weirdest shit ever. And then to wrap up the final statement of our wonderful Dark Horse Podcast 113 was, Brett says, again, a long-winded, convoluted, logical statement to come to the conclusion, the analysis, the statement of conclusion. The wrong side of history always screams for censorship. And then, they also had, again, they really thought it was funny, Trudeau is a duplicitous Ken doll. Again, duplicitous, two-faced. But again, another word salad, Heather starts flicking her cooter like, oh, it's so smart and so witty, and we just got them all. But the wrong side of history is the ones that kill a bunch of people and violate other people's rights. And it is not your right to endanger other fucking people. So Brett and Heather, you're definitively on the wrong side of history. Going against me is the wrong side of history. But that was about the screams for censorship, as you guys literally censor everything I do. Every bit of my research that I do is censored by you guys. You can get on your 400,000 fucking people, subscribers, and say, yeah, Brad solved all fucking physics and math. But no, we're not going to do that again. Like the 4-person group to the entire species, we're going to push him out and just say whatever the fuck we want. And again, do it. Lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after fucking lawsuit. So that was really it for the Dark Horse Podcast. Wrapping up this one. No stories today. This has gone on long enough. But Ben Shapiro teaches politics to kids. It was uploaded to his channel about an hour ago. And I just have, who let Ben Shapiro around children? That's our first mistake. They talked about the Constitution, freedom, quantitative easing, taxes, free speech, and nothing really interesting from here. I mean, it's little kids. And it's just Ben talking one-word things to words in politics. But then a kid asked, will homeschooling be banned? Which was probably the only talking point. And I don't know why homeschooling would be banned, or could be banned. And if you want your kid to be a literate piece of shit, I don't really care. I mean, it's going to be detriment to society, but again, I've given up on, again, there's no honorable society, there's no, we're all going to work in this together. It's just like, can I survive the idiots enough to make some money to just like, if my guitar lessons got a bunch of views, I would just make guitar lessons. I'd probably still do some of this, but just not as much. And so I'm just trying to do anything to make money. While these people are just so privileged, entitled, illiterate, and innumerate, as they would say. But homeschooling, I don't think that should be banned. I don't necessarily think it's good either. I didn't know it was banned in some places. But again, I think nothing inherent to government or this teacher or that teacher, government-sponsored schooling is better than, it depends on how competent the individual is. And then Ben finishes up the thing with saying, the yarmulke reminds us God is around us all the time. Yeah, there's one sentiment. And when you say shit like that, and then you directly lie about what's going on in my life, yeah, man, I just reflect on that. God is around us all the time. Logic is around you all the time. Everything is connected. The birds and the bees are aware of all that shit too. So, those were some fun talking points. Ben Shapiro should not be allowed around children. His own children, maybe Child Protective Services, go look into that. and maybe make sure their yarmulkes are on nice and tight. But I'm probably going to do another series, or not a series, but I'm probably going to write a book. Not like, because I would do this lecturing over writing a nonfiction book. But I probably would take a hand at, have a go at a fiction series, and I do want to do a series called Not Kids Books, where they're like kids books, but they're not kids books. Meaning just like really short fucking stories, illustrated, and then just, raunchy shit. Just funny stuff. So I have that in the works. Again, I just need some fucking cash flow, and then I'm about to get after this shit. Like, again, I still have not started. So, no stories today. Got some more for another episode. Thank you for watching Casual Conversations 30, and fuck the Weinsteins. See you next time.